Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make these really cute woven tags. And I think they're fun. They're a cool way to use your scraps. I recently asked in one of these description boxes of a video what type of videos you guys wanted to see from me. And Melissa Vella said that she wanted to see some more ways on how to use your scraps and how I store my scraps. So I am going to show you guys how I store my scraps first before we hop into the tutorial. So this is going to be kind of tricky to show you right here, but I basically stacked two boxes on top of each other. I'm going to show you the first box first, and I will show you a peek of how these look in my craft closet, and I one day will get a craft closet tour out to you guys. But for right now, I'm just going to start by showing you this one box here. This is the top box, and this is the box where I store all of my patterned or like design type of scraps, and these are not super organized, so sorry to disappoint you guys. I'm not super organized about storing my scraps, but for me it works how I have it, and I find it pretty easy to find scraps that I feel like I use pretty often. So in the front here I have a couple bundles of paper, and what I keep on these little bundles is basically just some of my favorite papers. So when I am adding some scraps to this box and I know like, hey, I don't want to forget I have this, or this is a really cool paper, I'll just add it into one of these bundles, and if these get too full, I'll just start a new bundle. So like in this one here, I have lots of like different strips of paper because I know I've been doing a few different embellishments and like these tags we're going to do today that require strips. So like I have these at the front, but then I have some other designs that I really just like. And then the only other organized thing about this mess is that I have an envelope here that has a lot smaller scraps, and I tend to not keep every little scrap only because I know that usually it just is going to go to waste because it's going to be in this box. I'm not going to find it, and it's really just taking up space. I have learned to kind of let go of the things that I know I'm just not going to use. But for those little scraps that I know, like, okay, this is a really cool paper, I want to keep it, mostly like glitter paper, I will keep it in this envelope, so when I'm doing like a DIY embellishment, I can just grab this and pull from here. Also, I have like pre-cut squares in here, and mostly like glitter paper, or it's going to be a paper that like I really like, or like this is a different textured paper right here, this like canvas paper. So that's what I keep in the envelope. I do tend to go through my scrap baskets pretty frequently, and I will get rid of anything. I mean, yeah, sometimes it can be a waste, but if it's something I know I'm not going to use, I just feel like there's no sense in taking up space. So yeah, this isn't super organized, but it works for me. And one thing that helps me is to keep the paper like kind of like this, you know, like in file style, I guess you would call it, so that I can flip through, because when I have them just stacked on each other, it's a lot harder to go through. And so this is the top basket because these papers stick up. So then the second box is basically anything that is a plain color paper. So that's all there is to this box. There's a lot of pieces in here that are almost full papers. Like this one just has tiny holes, but I don't want to put it back with my full sheets of paper because I can't grab this and like cut it in half to get two card bases from it. So I just know that if I need plain colored papers, that's what's in here. So now let's hop back into our tag tutorial. So you're just going to need a tag if you don't have pre-cut tags. Honestly, this is such a simple shape that you can cut out and punch a hole in. Just do that. Glue, a ribbon, and whatever scrap paper you want. So this tag measures 2 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I will approximately want 10 strips that measure 2.5 by 1/4 of an inch, and that's going to be the strips going horizontally, and then 5 to 6 strips that measure 4.5 by 1/4 of an inch, so going vertically. So I'm going to go ahead and take this bundle of my scraps. I'm just going to go through here off camera and cut my strips, and I'll be right back. I have all of my strips ready to go, and honestly, if you want to just make this quicker, depending on the size of your tag, you can just cut out a bunch of strips and just have them ready, because depending on the width, you're going to need a different amount of strips. So here I am starting the weave. You can basically just see how I am doing this. I like to just start with one going vertical, one going horizontal, and then I just keep kind of adding every other. So one vertical, and then I'll add a horizontal, or at least that's how I kind of try to do it. Now you can see I had one fall out there, and instead of trying to weave that one back in, I just moved those two down. And I wanted to leave that part in so that you weren't wondering where the heck did that other one go. And you can just see, like, it's a little bit hard starting out, but just keep up with it, because as you go along, it's a lot easier because everything stays in place a lot better the more you have. So I just continue this exact pattern here, and I am just randomly grabbing strips. You could absolutely plan this out to get a certain look, but I'm just trying to make it pretty random because I like the look of the randomness. And so I'm tightening it as I go also, and kind of rearranging, moving things around. And then when I have enough to cover my tag, I am just going to grab my tag and kind of measure the mat. I'm using some glue to go ahead and glue that down. I like to glue it down before I trim around the edges, just so I can make sure that nothing comes apart. So I'm just going to use my Tombow Mono liquid glue. I think that's what it's called. I'll have it linked below. It's my favorite, one of my favorite glues. And I'm just pressing on the back of the tag because I find that's the best way to make sure that every little piece is glued down. So now I'm just going to grab my scissors, and I'm out of frame there for a moment, but I'm just going to trim all the way around the edges. These tags are really, really easy, and I think they're a really fun way to use up your scraps. I think it would be awesome to use coordinating papers. If you just go through your scraps and grab a bunch that really go together, I think that would be really pretty. You could also coordinate it to go with a certain project or scrapbook layout or even a gift. And now it's time to just re-punch that hole. And then I like to use a little circle protector, whatever you call these, reinforcer. There we go. That was a little crooked. And there is your tag. I think these are really cool. I think these would look awesome with some embellishments, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot going on, and you could easily use this just how it is, add it onto a gift or a package, some happy mail, and call it good. I'm just going to finish it off with my little ribbon here. And I think these are really fun to make. I think they're a great way to use up scraps. And I hope that you guys will make one of these and share it with me on Instagram. And then of course, if you would like to share down below how you store your scraps, I would love to know. I would love to be more organized about it. But the fact of the matter is, how I do it now works for me, and that's all there is to it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have an excellent day, and I will see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.